All right, here we are in the internet world of internet interruptions. Oh boy, is it ever? Do you see I have sawdust? I have sawdust strength. Why are we having so much trouble with internet strength, I wonder? Hey, look, a lot of times during the day, I can see this morning I went like 30 minutes. It's too long. I should be bringing you guys in on what I'm doing. Hey, here's what I'm doing right now, and you might find yourself having to do the same thing. I've got a stand here that works really well and was holding a sander that is not in use right now. And I was like, well, I want to put my really good sander on this really good stand. So I'll just pop that off of that cheapy stand there that's real wobbly. I'll just drop it on this good stand here. Well, the holes didn't match up. And it's one of the things, like, I didn't pre-measure them. And I was like, all right, holes don't measure up. So what does the guy do? So I was like, well, I'll just, see if I can match it up somehow. And, well, here's one of the problems when I tried to set this one on top of that one, was this one has a setup where it's been fabricated with a giant bolt tops just on the top of it. Doesn't sit flush, doesn't sit right, doesn't have the holes in the right place. So I took a chisel, or I actually just took a wood hull drill bit, and I just drilled that out, made a recess for it, took a piece of wood, because this here is not, like, trucks are not driving over this. This is just a platform for a sander. And so I countersunk some bolts through here and dropped them down here. So now I've increased the size of it, took a punch, set this on top, and I just used an awl, A-W-L, a punch, and marked some holes. And then I drilled out those holes on here. And now I can use the hardware that attached each one to the other one, blah, blah, and drop this one on top of that one. And that should work out real well. Now, if it doesn't work out real well, I'll be sincerely embarrassed. Not really, because I don't have a lot of ego on this working well. In fact, the more times I don't get things to work, the better for a lot of people, because people are timid about trying things because they're afraid what they're trying will not work. I think that's a very, very bad tactical attitude. So I'm going to take this and set it up here. I'm going to match up these holes and see where I'm landing. Oh yeah, it looks like, as they say on my favorite action movies, we have joy. And I'm going to drop in these guys here, ridiculously long hardware that I was like, why did I make so long hardware? Well, it's a good thing, because now with the added piece of wood, I need that length in the hardware. I drop these through like this. Now all you do is run the nuts up on those bolts, and that bad boy is on a nice, stable, ready to go. God bless America, right? Here's the thing. Before I decided on this, I was planning a trip to the steel yard to pick up some flat steel. I was going to drill it out to countersink for those bolt heads. I was going to weld it to the angle iron top on this thing, which has already been fabricated. I was going to put fabrication on top of fabrication, and instead, Mike Weiser, big kiss. Instead of all that fabricating, I was like, well, what if I made it out of a piece of scrap OSB? You can't drive a train over it, but that's not what it's going to do. That's the kind of, like, scrabble it together prototyping that makes your workshop work when otherwise you'd be taking trips to steel yards. Now, if you are a perfectionist and you just can't, I respect that if you just can't even, right? Half-ass something. But half-assing something is a key part of creating something out of nothing. When you've got a zero-sum game, you're either going to be making skateboards or you're not. It's better to do that, because I've got some issues here. This morning I talked about getting rid of my belt sander. Keith King, the wood will absorb some vibration from the... Yes, right. Why not? Heck yeah. I cut this out today for fun. I'm messing around. It's a warped deck. It's awesome. It's definitely skatable, but it's warped, and I don't like to skate warped things. So it's going to be a wall hanger. I'm going to start replacing what's on the wall there from my factory days with stuff I'm making in these are my freedom days. I'm not, the only brand work I do is that Life Skateboards picked me up, and we're working together to not only make great skateboards, but make great makers. We are joining forces to make skateboard making the norm. Just wanted to share with you this kind of fabrication. Now I've got a streamlined place. This grizzly sander is going to go into a storage spot for a minute. I hope to go ahead and purchase some flap sanding stuff for that so that I can, flap sand. I got plenty of room on, one of the first things I built in here was this raised platform. It's a leveled, relatively leveled, raised platform. It is liquid leveled. It's not very smooth, but I wanted a nice level platform for my presses, and I've got plenty of room on there for 2 sanders, along with cutting and the 2 presses. So thanks for joining me for this workshop minute here. This has just been a joy to share with you. But this is the kind of stuff that you wind up farting around with in your shop, and all of it so that I dropped it. All of it so that I can finish the things, because I got rid of my belt sander and that rounded end on the belt sander. I can't get these scallops outside of Oh, and John Ryan Zander, you're on our 100% want to work with you, get into your Detroit garage, turn it into a workshop, and we'd like to do that featured on the channel here so that everyone can see how simple, it's not easy, but how simple. Lenny Pogue, love ya. Thanks for popping in on me. Go back and teach. I just am so glad that you guys are sharing time with me. It means a lot. I'm gonna get to sanding these scallops and finish up. This is just a fun cutout. I've got some warped old wood in there. And Keith, I've got a welder. I could come over and weld up your press, theoretically. But thanks, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Love you, Kyle Green. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.